Well met, everyone. This is the ASM Artificer coming back to you after a very long hiatus. It has been several months since I've spoken to everyone, and for those of you, my subscribers specifically, that have stayed true, I'm very happy to come back and say hello. I've missed you, in the words of Agent Smith. As my last video had mentioned, I am my wife is expecting her first child. So my life has been a little busy. And before I discuss that further, how about we get our first trigger started? And do a little gum, which I know a lot of my subscribers do enjoy. I'll be doing this entire video whilst chewing gum. So, let's get in here and check it out. I'll start with one piece. We'll go from there. What do you think? Alright. So let's get this going first here. And we go. Oh, my antivirus there is going crazy. Well, excuse me. I think it was all that winter mint kind of hitting me all at once. But I'm good now. Well, as you see, one thing that has distracted my wife and I has been our trip to Ireland. We went there for about a week and a half. And we picked up a few trinkets. We're not much for souvenirs and the like, but we do pick up a few things. I mean, these were a couple of coasters that we got at the Cliffs of Moher on the west coast of Ireland. I'm sure that these could have been ordered anywhere, but it's kind of nice knowing that they actually came from there, you know. After all, that's what these are for, right? Actually came in a set of two. I like this one because it's got Guinness. But a couple Celtic nuts here, much like my Celtic nuts in my ring. But here, just like the stained glass look of this, it's really nice. The way the light kind of catches it, it's really nice. Yeah. But I figured since we took a nice trip to Ireland, I could share with you some facts about Ireland to kind of introduce those of you that haven't been to Ireland to some of the interesting things we found out, and some things maybe I didn't find out since I am pulling these offline. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to share. But before I do that, I think I'm gonna get one more piece of gum, because what is better than one piece of gum? That's right. You got it. You figured it out. Two pieces of gum. So let's do that now. And another one. There's the winter mint goodness. That's good stuff. Okay. So let's get started with a few facts here, okay? The Irish consume an average 131.1 liters of beer per year, the second highest per capita consumption after the Czech Republic. That's pretty awesome. And having gone there, I can tell you that the beer is among my favorites. They're delicious. Famous Irish breweries include Guinness, Smithwick's, and Harp Lager. And please, for those of you who say Smithwick's, there's no better way to label yourself as a non-Irish. So that's a bit of advice from the ASMR advisor to you. Just say Smithwick's. The three most famous symbols of Ireland are the green shamrock, the harp, and the Celtic cross. Well, we got one of those right here. Halloween traces its origins to the Gaelic festival of Samhain, a harvest festival held on the 31st of October to mark the end of summer. Samhain became progressively merged over the centuries, creating that's all used to be. 88% of Irish citizens are nominally Roman Catholic. The Republic of Ireland has one of the highest rates of church attendance in the Western world, around 45% of regular Mass attendance. The ancestral language of Irish people is Irish Gaelic. Nowadays, 1.6 million people claim a self-reported competence in Irish, but only 380,000 fluent speakers remain. Oh, that'd be sad if it died out. I feel like that would I feel like we'd lose a part of history or something. Many Irish family names start with Mac or O, which means son of and grandson of in Gaelic, which I'm assuming is respectively, so that's interesting. Since 1981, Slane Concert has been held annually on the grounds of Slane Castle at the initiative of its owner, the 8th Marquis Cunningham. Artists who performed at Slane include David Bowie, Bob Dylan, Queen, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Guns N' Roses, R.E.M., The Verve, Robbie Williams, Bryan Adams, U2, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Madonna, and Oasis. That is quite a few artists. Sounds like it's the place to be. It's pretty cool. Ireland has won 7 times the Eurovision Song Contest, more than any other country. I have no idea what that contest is, but it sounds like a European contest. Londonderry's Banks of the Foyle Halloween Carnival. It's the oldest Halloween celebration in Ireland, as well as Ireland's largest street party. The story of the world-famous vampire, Count Dracula, was written in 1897 by Bram Stoker from Dublin. His real-life inspiration for his character was a friend of his, the actor Sir Henry Irving. Count Dracula was the culmination of 20 years of vampire stories in Victorian literature. Dracula is said to have been inspired by the early Irish legend of Bartók, an evil chieftain who, after being betrayed by his subjects and slain by the hero Catherine, rose from his grave every night to drink the blood of his subjects. Fun fact, my wife and I, when Blarney visited the church that was one of the churches that inspired Bram Stoker during his writing with Dracula. There was many gargoyles and the like, which was really neat, so I'm guessing that was one of the reasons. Normally this is where I would stop the video, but I'm going to keep it rolling and just transition to the next section. It's a snake-free island due to its isolation from the European mainland. Ireland lacks several species common elsewhere in Europe, such as moles, weasels, polecats, or roe deer. That's interesting. At a height of 688 meters above the Atlantic Ocean, Cragon on a Keel Island are the second highest cliffs in Europe after Cape Edinburgh and the Faroe Islands. The Irish national studs Japanese gardens, laid between 1906 and 1910 by Japanese master horticulturalist Taseda, are considered the finest of their kind in Europe. They are located in Kildare. The Tara mine near Navan, County Meath, is the largest zinc mine in Europe and the 5th largest in the world. Impressive. Here's a few science facts. Hook Lighthouse is thought to be the oldest working lighthouses in Europe, or possibly in the world. Located at Eeek in County Wexford. The present structure was completed either in 1172 or in 1245, although the first lighthouse on that spot dates back to the 5th century. So these are kind of long. I'm going to go to some of the other ones here. A few kilometers from Newgrange, the passage grave of Noeth contains more than a third of the total number of examples of megalithic art in all of Western Europe. Cool. Speaking of megalithic items, the Passage Tomb Cemeteries in Carramore, County Sligo, are the largest group of megalithic tombs, 30 of them, in Ireland or Britain. Ireland was one of the last countries in Europe to adopt the feudal system. It was introduced by the English. Throughout the Middle Ages, Irish society preserved the traditional Celtic organization of society based on tribes and clans. The absence of feudalism means that there were no serfs but slaves. Ireland was one of the last European nations to abolish slavery of its own people, as opposed to slaves imported from abroad. The land in Ireland was not suitable for grain agriculture, except a small part of the southeast, until the introduction of modern machinery and fertilizers in the 20th century. This is the main reason why the potato became the staple food from the early 17th century onwards. Before that, the Irish relied mostly on stock breeding, probably since the Proto-Celts settled on the island around 2000 BC. The black Kerry cattle, thought to be descended from the Celtic shorthorn, was brought to the continental Celts to Ireland around 2000 BC. Erected from 1729, the Irish Houses of Parliament were the world's first purpose-built two-chamber Parliament House. It now houses the headquarters There's a claim to fame. And one I can appreciate for expecting our first child. In the late 18th century, Cork was the largest exporter of butter in the world, mostly to Britain and the British Empire. And Cork was one of our last stops on our Ireland trip. That's where Blarney Castle was. I'll talk about that in a minute. The Union Jack was flown for the very first time in Dublin on the 1st of January 1801 to herald the union of Great Britain and Ireland. The term boycott comes from Captain Charles Boycott, the land agent of an absentee landlord from Ulster. In 1880, after refusing to reduce the rents of his employer's tenants, the Irish Land League decided to stop dealing with him. The whole community began to ostracize him to the point where even shops refused to serve him. The Times of London quickly came to use his name as a term for organized isolation, and the word entered the English language. Poor guy, huh? The world's first suburban commuter railway opened between Dublin and Dunlogare in 1834, 2 years before the London and Greenwich Railway. I'll just do just a few more here before we move on. Ireland's oldest pub is Sean's Bar in Athlone. It was founded some 900 years ago. The country's oldest licensed pub, though, is Grace Neal's Bar in Donghady, established in 1611. The oldest hotel in Ireland, though, which opened in 1608, is a Wooden Bridge Hotel. Trim Castle was the first Anglo-Norman castle built from 1169 in Ireland, so it was the largest ever built. In Kilbrittain Castle in County Cork is the oldest inhabited castle in Ireland. It is thought to have been built by the O'Mahony clan circa 1035. The world's first recorded open yacht race was held in Dublin Bay in 1663. Interesting. Cork Harbor claims to be the second largest national harbor in the world by navigational area, after Sydney's Port Jackson. The claim is contested by Halifax Harbor in Canada and Poole Harbor in England. I guess there's some debate about the size of things, I guess. Ireland is the only European Union country where abortion is still illegal, except to protect the mother's life. Excuse me. Interesting. Let's see what about a brewery here. One of the most successful beer brands worldwide. Guinness was once the largest brewery in the world from 1914 and remains the largest brewer of stout in the world. Very true. We got to go to the Guinness storehouse, and it was amazing. Maybe I'll share some pics of that later, but I tell you what, these facts are cool. Don't get me wrong, but I want to share with you guys something from our trip. My wife has been very awesome and cool and supporting of my whole ASMR fixation. She gets it a little bit, but she doesn't have as big of triggers as I do. But she was nice enough to help me out something in Ireland. In the county of Cork, there's a castle, known as the Blarney Castle, which some of you may know. That's where you get to kiss the Blarney Stone. It's where you get your gift of eloquence, which is why I sound so eloquent, apparently. But while in the castle, we were able to film a little bit on the camera. Unfortunately, the camera was actually running out of battery. It was almost dying. So I had to really make do with what I had battery-wise, but we were able to capture a few minutes of some ASMR triggers, mostly tapping, scratching, whispering. But there's obviously ambient noise involved, considering where we were. But I thought it would be a fun treat since I've been gone for so long from you guys to include that at the end of this video. So I'll put an end to the facts for now, and I will leave you to the details of our trip. And thanks again to my wife for helping me out. I hope you all enjoy, though. Hey everyone, just looking out the east side here. Down where the towers is. It's quite amazing. It feels quite cool here. And you'll see we got a very narrow staircase here. There's two of these in the entire castle. They used to bring everything in and out. It goes quite high, which is nice. I'm gonna see if there's any other areas of the castle I can get to, hopefully, get some more, peace and quiet. There's obviously a few tourists hanging about, so, but definitely wanted to see, what you guys thought of this. So we're gonna go, me and my wife are gonna go on a little walk. There's quite a few gardens. There's even a poison garden, believe it or not. Where they actually grow poisons, but they're caged off, so no worries there. But I'm gonna go up top here and see if I can show you the top here. Yeah, it's actually quite beautiful here. Hopefully you're not getting too much wind, but and over there is Blarney Town. Down there's the kitchen with a very large fireplace. You can see some of the outer wall over there. Over there is where you kiss the Blarney Stone, where me and my wife got to do that. You can see the main living room and banqueting hall. There's my wife down there. Checking out the description. But it's quite beautiful. Okay, go ahead. That was pretty cool. Hopefully there's not too much ambient